search for the ideal packaging. The interactive led me to a new packaging that I want to show you. And again, we have an article on it. This one will have a concave underside coming out of that conical connection. And the fixture mount that the implant's provided on is a two-piece fixture mount that has significant advantages. And I'll show you the video on this. So here's the fixture mount on the interactive implant. This same fixture mount will soon be available on the Legacy 2, and we're going to be calling it Legacy 4. Two-piece fixture mount, retained by those little arms, snaps into the abutment portion. The abutment portion has an internal hex, so if the fixture mount is too high, you can just go in there with a 2.5mm hex tool. That score line marks where the internal hex stops and the channel becomes narrower. There's your conical connection. Three cutting grooves, progressively deeper threads, micro grooves. Package comes with a 2mm cover screw, broached for both Nobel, Straumann, and R tools, triple broached, and a 2mm healing collar. The top of the fixture mount is split so that it provides retention when you snap it onto the fixture mount. It won't fall off. Won't fall off the ratchet, and it's grooved so that it'll provide retention with the ratchet. You can also put a 2.5mm hex tool inside it. If that tool has an O-ring the way we make it, you can pick it up and carry it that way. Index the implant, put the flat of the hex facing the index the implant, put the flat of the abutment portion facing the labial, and that will orientate the flat of the internal hex of the implant. This means that when you order an abutment with a contoured margin or an angled abutment, it will align appropriately. Now you can insert it by just putting the hex tool into the top of the abutment as well, if there's limited opening. The two-piece fixture mount gives you the advantage of having the accuracy of an open tray transfer with the simplicity of a closed tray. An open tray transfer would have a hole in the top, and you would then unscrew the transfer in order to remove the tray. That some people believe that's the most accurate type of transfer, but a closed tray, you just snap the part back into the impression later, which is the most common way of doing it. There's your 2mm healing collar and color-coded cover screw. Attach the abutment to an implant analog. Now when you snap it in place, it's metal to metal, and you'll hear the click. Know that it's fully seated. Pour up the impression. You could shorten the abutment if you wanted to the score line. And that'll give you a smaller hole at the top, screw access hole. Or you could block out the undercut if you needed the longer length of the abutment. Put some Vaseline on that wax before you waxed up your coping and made your final restoration. Remove the cover screw and healing collar. Seat the abutment using 30 Newton centimeters of torque. And seat your restoration. That's the interactive implant, and that fixture mount will be available on the Legacy 4 as well. So these pictures just show what the video was showing, the transfer procedures, preparing the abutment,